Spring practice is underway for the Ohio State Buckeyes, so we're going to update you guys as often as we can on what's going on during spring practice. And if that is what you're looking for, then show it by liking today's video. Some of the earlier practices, I should say, are open to the media, so we'll kind of condense down all the different reports and updates and everything else in there and get the details on what we know so far coming out of spring practice. So like the video if you want more updates. Let's begin with the quarterback battle, which is, the big thing, which is certainly not going to be decided today or tomorrow or this month or next month, frankly. Julian Sayin reportedly led the quarterbacks through most of the position drills. Kienholz was first up when the entire offense was together. Now, remember, Ryan Day had said last month the plan was to kind of roll those guys the best we can, meaning shuffle and rotate and not have just one guy get all the reps with the ones and one guy get all the reps with the twos. There will be a lot of rotation. And whether it's today or tomorrow, next week, whatever, I wouldn't be surprised if that flips. And then Kienholz leads the groups in position drills, then the entire offense out there, and Sayin's next up with them. It's going to be a real battle. It's going to be a competition. It's going to be rotation. And the winner will be decided later. I would not overreact to one day either way at any point. This is a lot of stuff going on beyond what the media and fans can see, because there's a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors. Like, how do you handle, the knowledge of the offense, everything else. So I would not overreact, but updates are still noteworthy and things to take note of. Let's go to the running back room. James Peoples led the rotation of backs during position drills. CJ Donaldson was then second in line. Also of note, TC Caffey did participate after missing last year with the knee injury, so progress for Caffey I want to make note of. James Peoples is the incumbent. And oftentimes you'll see coaches and teams, this is not unique to Ohio State, but the incumbent guy, the previous guy, the veteran, the guy that's been in the locker room before, he gets the first crack at it. The older guy gets the first crack. So Peoples is first up, but you will certainly see a lot of CJ Donaldson as part of this team. And it's going to be a committee. Donaldson's got really good size. Peoples might have a little bit more athletic juice at a much smaller rate. Both of these guys are going to be involved with the offense. They'll both get plenty of touches. It's really kind of more of a 1A, 1B scenario, not that dissimilar from Judkins-Henderson combination, which worked out oh so well last year. Who do you think will be that 1A, that lead back, the 5 carries more, whatever it ends up looking like? Probably more, but anyway. C for CJ Donaldson, J for James Peoples. It's the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, sweet, take advantage of it. Head down there and type in C or J. Let's discuss the new-look offensive line, which I don't think is even remotely close to being settled with where things currently sit. I think you will see a lot of movement and shuffling and all that kind of stuff there. Austin Siereveld got most of the work at left tackle, despite being a starter for the most part or part-time starter at left guard last year. Ethan Oninawa and Philip Daniels, the two transfers from Rice in Minnesota, they got work at both left tackle and at right tackle. And then redshirt freshman Ian Moore got the start, first reps, whatever you want to call it, right tackle with a bunch of the other returning offensive linemen. So I kind of interpret that as like Austin, Luke Montgomery, then probably Carson Hinsman, Tegra Chabola. I think I probably pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry if so. And then Ian Moore. But you're obviously going to rotate in the two new guys. So there is a lot of new up front. You're down Donovan Jackson, who played left guard and left tackle for you. You're making a lot of changes to this offensive line. And I think there will be some experimentation. Even just to figure out who's your 6th, who's your 7th, who's your 8th best offensive lineman, and where can they play in the event of injuries. All of those things matter. So Philip Daniels, seems like a bit of a more right tackle focused option. That's where he played a decent amount for Minnesota. Ethan Oninawa, and there's, again, position flex is always important. Figure out who's the best at which spot, or even who's not the worst at which spot. This is all kind of a bit complicated, so if I confuse anybody, I apologize. But if, hypothetically, Oninawa was a B at left tackle and a C+ at right tackle, Daniels, meanwhile, is like, in a B- at left tackle, but he's a D at right tackle, well, then you're just going to get that higher grade up by putting Daniels hypothetically on the left side. I don't think that's actually the case, but you do want to make sure you're maximizing the best 5 in the best possible outcome. Now, Fanatics gear is available for you at chatsports.com/OSU champs. These are the national championship gear from our friends over at Fanatics. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, everything else in between. You can rep the celebratory national title winner gear with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Go get yours today. chatsports.com/OSU champs. Let's have some D-line conversation here as well. The first group of the rotation was Caden Curry, Caden McDonald, and Edric Houston. By the way, sounds like some really good buzz for Edric Houston, which I am super intrigued with him as a 3 technique. That pass rush for DT, I think, offers a bit more juice than some of the other guys have been recently involved with this D-line committee. No slights against Ty Hamilton, but I think Houston's upside pass rush rise could be really intriguing. CJ Hicks, who is making the transition from linebacker, lined up as an end with the second-team defense. I think you kind of see like you got your nose guard, you got your 3 technique, a bit more of a base defensive end, and then someone with a little bit more athletic juice to kind of be a true pass rusher there. Hopefully Hicks can do that. Somebody has to break out here. Somebody has to showcase that they can be the next dude up. You're replacing 4 different NFL-bound defensive linemen. That's sizable losses. We'll see exactly where they go, but I would bet 2 to 3 of them go in the top 60 picks, and then Hamilton might sneak in top 100 even. And there will be rotation. You cannot just have a 4-man front with the way this roster is currently set up. You need more. You need extra juice in that room. So hopefully guys like Hicks, like Caden Curry, like Jackson, like Houston, can all take big-time steps forward. Now, of note, this was Matt Patricia, the new defensive coordinator's first practice with the Buckeyes, and he moved around between various groups. He started with the defensive line, which I think kind of tracks overall, and kind of bounced around beyond that, which I think you'll see plenty of similar stuff of him moving around and trying to get as big of a big picture feel as he can for this new team. He doesn't really know these guys. So what is your confidence level in Matt Patricia? Be honest with me. It's fine if you go low or don't go low. Scale it from 1 to 10 in the comment section of today's video. All right, more on the defense side here. Malik Hartford did get the first crack at strong safety over Jalen McClain. The other DBs then were Hartford, Caleb Downs at free safety, Lorenzo Stiles at the nickel spot, Davison Igbenogson at corner, and Jermaine Matthews. So again, nothing. Plus Arvell Reese alongside Sonny Stiles, one of the few returning starters. Nothing overly surprising there. That's pretty chalky in terms of Hartford over McClain, and nothing chaotic and crazy there. That's about what you expected. Even replacing a lot of key players. I think it's 8 defensive starters you're replacing this year is kind of insane. Look, I don't want to beat a dead horse here again. There's going to be competition. If you're one of those younger guys, Aaron Scott or a Bryce West or a true freshman like Devin Sanchez, Hakeem Delane, once they get into the building and up to speed, there's going to be competition. There will be a lot of competition. Ryan Day kind of asked if he's relaxed right now. He says to say I'm not as crazy. We're in a different place than we were a few months ago. I do think that the championship win is massive for Ohio State. I get why Ryan Day feels more relaxed. He should feel more comfortable. There's a lot of pressure off you, but you still want to have urgency. I'm fine being a bit more relaxed. I just don't want complacency. I don't want to just to rest on your laurels, say, we won a national championship, I'm good now. I don't have to do 3 years. Or no, you need to have urgency there. I want this Buckeyes team, if you want to win championships again, when you're not going to be favored this year. You've lost so much talent. You could almost play the nobody believes in us card. Maybe not to the same extent that Kirby Smart was able to play it somehow when he got his team to be convinced that people thought they were going to win 6 games off a national championship. That was ridiculous. But that's the type of mindset you should have. I think that the nobody believes in us card is pretty damn effective. Now, we will have more updates for you all off-season long, so if you haven't already, hit that sub button. YouTube.com/GoBucks for more free Ohio State football YouTube videos.